They actually engaged Base Electric in the contest of bake sale. They did a wonderful job. Unfortunately, they were better.
Hello. Well, I just wanted to just say a couple words here. Thanks to the team here. But the most important thing I want to say is, you know, lots of people don't know kids with cancer, and you know, I didn't know anybody until my boy did one. It's really great to see a lot of people donating and supporting efforts to help cure childhood cancer. It's very important that communities support this kind of stuff. So thank you very much.
Oops. I'm sorry, Emily.
There.
Okay, Evans Bald Buddies. The team consists of David Aichele, Kellan Damm, Kensmoe, Mathew Krogen, Travis Ruggles, Brian Verdouw, Terry Walch, and Brent Wetzel.
Woo! There's Evan. That's sweet.
One nice thing at NISC, I don't know if NISC CEO Verdouw is here yet today. He thought he might be able to drop by. I don't see him any place in the crowd. However, NISC has said that they will match the fundraising done by this team, and so we are very proud of NISC for doing that. I'm very pleased with the effort NISC has put into this. As I mentioned, they raised, I think it was $1,400 just in the bake sale alone, not to mention the individual fundraising done by these folks. So they've done a great job.
Yeah, no.
How's it feel, Brent?
Good. Just in time for summer.
Yes. You got a few cold days to get through first, though.
One of the benefits also shaking your head is your stocking cap fits tight. It's like it's not sewn on. I experienced that the first year. And I mean, it's a never-ending bonus with this stuff. So I mean, if you're thinking about it right now, that's a selling point for this.
And for those of you who haven't shaved before, there is on a cold day that first moment of shock.
Just a slight downside. If you, as most of us, sleep with your head on a pillow, it's like you're geared into it. So you will literally roll over and roll yourself right out of bed because there's so much traction with the bald head. So 6 or 7 times the first night I finally got the hang of it.
We're back to this remedial thing again.
All right. Next.
Okay, I'll give you $20 to leave it right there.
Good.
Oh, sure.
Now that is some beautiful hair we got coming up on stage right now.
I think we may know why the sink was green.
So, I have a question. Is the beard going as well?
A piece of it.
A piece of it. So now we have creative shaving. I like that.
Okay, well these guys are finishing up. As you know, St. Baldrick is all about raising money for childhood cancer research fellowship. In helping to raise money for this great cause, both area colleges went big time this year. The University of Mary and Bismarck State both have teams, both had people involved. At the University of Mary, student Nick Thornton-Jack and Professor Dr. Chad Litton both underwent the Clippers at the University of Mary Marauders basketball game in February. They raised almost $1,500 for St. Baldrick's. Mike Offerdahl, the University of Mary Assistant Athletic Director, if you'd like to come up, I think he has a big check, which we always love, presentation to say a few words. Mike Offerdahl, University of Mary.
Oh, we got a big check.
I just wanted to kind of just tell you why, a little bit why we jumped involved with this event. but more on a personal side for myself. I was involved with it last year as well, but 3 years ago my uncle was diagnosed with cancer and ended up having tumors all over his lungs and liver. And I apologize if I get a little emotional as we talk about this, but one of the first things when he went to the Mayo Clinic, he asked the doctor, what do we do now? The doctor just said, keep fighting. He went through all his treatments, went through a year of going through all the nasty stuff that they have to go through, and they thought they got it all, and it ended up coming back. So he asked the doctor again, okay, what do I do now? He just said, keep fighting. He kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and that was the whole thing for all the family, as he was the oldest uncle of the group and the one that always drove fast and gave me sugar when I was young, so I really appreciated him a lot. But going through all the events, and then calling him and saying that we're doing this event last year, and raising money, and he was so proud and so happy, because if you get it early, and if you get the cure for these kids, you don't have to be the old guy going through pain and having those events. So his words to me were, keep fighting. And that's what I want to send to you guys and send to the kids. Just keep on fighting for a cure. Keep on fighting for that chance to make sure that these kids don't have to go through it, so we can have them for years and years to come. The most emotional part of this whole thing for me is 3 hours after we did this event, when I was here last year, I got a phone call saying that he had passed away. So I really want to make sure that these kids know that we love them, we're here fighting for them, and once we find the cure, we got to keep on raising money so they can afford the cure and they never have to go through it again. Thanks for letting the University of Mary involved. Thanks for having me here. You guys are good shit.
Well, first of all, let me say that you never have to apologize for being emotional about this issue. It's the fact that people care about it that makes us all come here. And we'll keep coming here because people do care about it. Absolutely. And on the lighter side, it's nice to kind of receive a check. I've given it away. Not such a bad thing.
Like you said, we had a football player shave his head, and Dr. Lynn shave his head at a basketball game. They did $1,500 online, but then they raised the rest of those amounts at the game that night, which is phenomenal. The one thing also that I got to point out to this check is down on the bottom, there's a 15 in the number. Nick, who, if anybody knows Nick Oranjak, he's a pretty emphatic football player for us. He donated 15 inches of his hair to Locks of Love as well. So it's a great cause, and we had a great time doing it, and he needed a free haircut. So
not only did he donate his hair,
And Bismarck State's College, their team, BSC Boldies, will also be shaving in just a few minutes. But Mike?
we mentioned earlier that we had a new member of the Basin family, John Knox. John Knox recently moved up to North Dakota, and he decided, I think appropriately, that one of his initiations, you know, this is a special club, and one of his initiations should be getting his head shaved. So we'd, John is the head camp, come on up. And